Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we'll continue styling our app's front end. So I have the server running, and over here, I have my application on preview. What we're going to do is style the new and edit form submission, so the form template, okay? So when you click on new article, right now, we're going to style this form. But before I do that, I would like to make a correction to something I did in my last video when I was building the custom CSS SCSS page. Over here, I have a spelling error for the footer. So it's going to be margin top, not marring top. And if you follow the text document that I provided after the last lecture, that one actually has this corrected. Okay, so let's start working on our form. And the form is going to be in your app, views, articles, this form partial right here. So that's what it looks like. It has the errors on top, and then here's the form builder, right? The form for helper. So let's style this. For the styling, I'm going to go back to the Bootstrap page and look at forms. If you go to CSS, right here, there is a link for forms. If you click on it, I'm going to look over here and right here, horizontal form. This is the format that I want for my title and description. Okay, so here's the code for it. Now we're not going to copy paste this code this time. We're going to take the styling from here to build a form that looks like this. So we'll have all of the classes, but we will do it with embedded Ruby. Okay, so first thing here, it says form class form horizontal. Now be very careful not to include this class on top, because this form for is essentially a form builder. So it'll create a form tag for us. So this form class over here, form horizontal, will include this within our form for code over here. And I'll show you how to do that later on. The reason for that is your form for will generate a code for the form. And then if you give it another form tag, you're going to have two essentially conflicting authenticity tokens, and Rails basically won't accept that. You'll be stuck with basically an error on your server, and you'll basically not be able to move out of this new form submission page. So something to keep in mind. I learned that the hard way some time ago. So let's start working on this. So first thing, it says div class form group, and this is going to be for, if you look at it right here, this email, this will be a form group. Then you have a form group for password. So this part will create this, okay? And then you have remember me, which we're not going to do right now. Then you have the submit button right here, which is another form group. So back over here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a div class row. We're going to ignore this errors portion for now and start over here. So first, div class equals row. Okay, and then we want it to span this entire length of our containers. So remember, Bootstrap has a grid system with 12 columns. So I want it to span all 12 columns. So I'll say div class equals call dash md dash 12. Now I'm going to have all of this within that. So I'm going to close those two div tags so I don't forget later on, div, and then close them. All right, and then I want to tab all of this over. So command and right square bracket twice. Okay, so here, form for article do f, that's fine. This is where we will add the form group. So over here, I'll say div class equals form dash group. If you look here, this is what it says, form group. And then it says class call sm2 and then control label, right? So let's do that. So first of all, I'm going to change this from MD to XS just to be consistent. And over here from form group, div class equals control label call dash sm dash 2. All right, so let's see what it says next. And then it says the label, right? That is the label for email. So now I'm going to have the label, which I have over here. So I'll get rid of this p tag, which I don't need anymore. I don't need this br tag either. Now I'll close this div class right here. So div. Okay. Now next thing it says over here, div class call sm10 and then input type email, placeholder email. So let's do this. I'm to say div class equals call dash sm dash 10. And then I'll have this field, the input field over here, which is type text field. And now I have to give it a class. So I'll say class colon within quotes form dash control. And where am I getting that? Notice over here, it said to say form control. So that's what I'm doing. And then placeholder colon space within quotes title of article. And I'll put in auto focus colon true. All right, within embedded Ruby tag, save that. Then I'll close this div. And then I'll close this div for this form group. So this div is closed here, this div is closed here, and this one is closing form group. Okay, and then we had closed the other two divs down here. All right, so let's see what that looks like. We're here, I'll reload this. All right, so we have some styling going, that's great. First, immediately I know this is way too long. I don't want it this big, okay, this input field. So I'll make that smaller. I'll make this 8. Save that. Reload. Okay, much better. Back here. Now we'll do the same thing for description. So I'll simply copy this form group and the control label, Command C. Right under this div, I'll do Command V. Tab this over, get rid of the BR tag, then close that div. Now for description, we simply had this, so I'll do that. Command C, Command V, tab this over, close the div. Oops. Save that. So over here for description, I have to give it the class form control again. So class colon within quotes form dash control, then placeholder colon, I'll say body of article. Okay, and close quote, close the embedded Ruby tag, save that, get rid of this p tag, save that, reload. All right, it's not looking that great yet, but at least the box is there. Now the box, this body of article, it's too small. I want to make it bigger. I want to increase the number of rows. To do that, simply over here, say rows colon 10, comma, save that, reload, bigger box, perfect. All right, back here. We're going to close this form group right now for description. So all right, now the submit button, Same thing, div class equals form dash group, close tag, div class equals, now here I want to say call sm10, close the tag, tab this over, and I want this to be a button, so f.submit, then I'll simply say class colon within quotes button space button dash primary and button dash large. Save that, close embedded Ruby, close the div, close the form group div, get rid of this p tag, save that. Okay, now this is a little too much to the left. I want to move this over a little bit. So I will do call dash sm dash offset dash 2. Save that. Okay, that's a good place for it. Now let's work on this. The reason this is looking this way is because we didn't say form horizontal, okay, which is what this form requires. But we couldn't do it on top just by adding this tag. So what we're going to do is in our form 4 right here, which is our form builder, we're going to add the class here. So we're going to say form 4, open parentheses, at article, comma, then space, colon, HTML, space, equals right arrow, which stands for hash rocket, space, open curly brace, and within it we'll say class, colon, within quotes, form dash horizontal. This is where we give the class, and then comma, space, role, colon, within quotes, form. Okay, close quote, close curly brace, and then close parentheses, which is this one. All right, now let's see what that looks like. Save that. Over here, reload. Perfect. So we have create an article, we have title, description, create article, back to articles listing. Looking much better. Now here we have this create an article all the way to the left, so let's fix that. That is in my new.html ERB. Right here where it says h1, I'm going to say h1 align equals within quotes center. That should work. Reload. Okay, that looks very good. So now everything is aligned except for here where it says back to articles listing, because I have my root route over here. What I want over here is a link to cancel the request. What if the user no longer wants to create or edit an article? I want them to have a link to cancel and move back to articles listing. So let's add that. So back here, we'll go back to our form, HTML ERB. At the bottom, this is where we have our link to back to articles listing. So what I'll say here is cancel request and return to articles listing, articles path. And over here, I will give it a div. So div class equals call dash access dash 4 and call dash access dash offset dash 4. Close quote, close the div tag, tab this over one, and then close the div, save that, reload. Okay, this looks good, but I want some brackets here to make this stand out a little bit. So let me add that. Over here, I'll just say open square bracket, space, and then at the end, space, close square bracket. Save that, reload. Perfect. That's what I was looking for. Cancel request and return to articles listing. Now the form is complete, and this is for creating an article, but since it's a form partial and edit articles using the same thing, it should work for edit as well. So I'll go over here and simply say articles, let's say 7/edit. Hit enter. Okay, editing existing article. Here we have the same alignment issue with our edit article template. So I'll go to edit article over here, H1 align equals center. Save that, reload. Perfect. Edit existing article is working, and it pulls up the existing title and description. Cancel request, this is working. Update article, this is working. So let's test it out. I'll say this is a new article, edited, and then this is description of new article, edited. Update article. Article was successfully updated. But notice here how this message now doesn't look that great compared to our form. So that's something to keep in mind to update. Okay, now let's test out our new form as well. So articles/new. This is a new article for testing form submission test with Bootstrap styling. Okay, create article. Okay, article was successfully created, so that's working too. Back to articles listing. There's that new article I just created, and there is that article that I edited. Okay, so along with the flash message, which was lacking some styling when the article got created, another thing that I want to show you is if I go to articles new and say create article, I have my validation errors, and this lacks some styling as well. So in the next video, we'll style these along with the flash messages, okay? But before we complete this video, let's move back to our terminal and we're going to make a commit. So Control C to shut down the server. Now git status. Okay, these are all the things that we modified. Git add -a, git commit -m, and the message I'll give is style form partial. Close quote. Hit enter. Perfect. Now git push to push our code to our repository. All right, great. I'll see you in the next video.